disturbed two of us. It was announced in the papers that when when Representative DeFazio was touring the ORC facility and they were starting up, that it was mentioned apparently by ORC that the county had rejected a $1.6 million revenue annually. And it was quoted in the paper that he couldn't understand why the county would reject that revenue. It's our opinion that we think the senator or the representative was somehow misled by ORC. The most they've ever offered is $40,000 for 20 acres, not the 1.6 million. And that turns out to be about 80,000 an acre, which was supposedly offered. I've called several of his aides without a return phone call about this. It was unfortunate that I think they were very skillful in making him believe, or having him believe, that there was some kind of contract out there for 1.6 million annually. And that's not the case at all. And in fact, they were the one who cut off the negotiations here about, what, a month and a half ago, saying there were onerous contract requirements. The onerous contract requirements would be, we wanted them to separate all saleable minerals in Coos County instead of sending them somewhere else. That gives accountability and it gives more jobs for people in Coos County. Secondly, we said we don't want you to have the ability to sublet this mineral lease when we have one. That apparently was met with great consternation. We said we have learned in the past, with past administrations, that not having a non-sublet agreement creates all kinds of problems. We learned that with Methane Energy. When Methane Energy went bankrupt, the bankruptcy court sold those rights, and we've been dealing with firm after firm trying to get our mineral rights, or our gas lease rights, straightened out. We wanted a pure lease arrangement with ORC, so that if they happen to go somewhere else, for whoever knows, we're not hung up in a court type situation. That apparently was not acceptable. Thirdly, we said, since they've said multiple times in the press and in public meetings they're not going to recover the gold, they wouldn't have a problem with us raising from 5% to 50% of the gold. Well, apparently that was met with much resistance too. And we said, what does it matter? You're not going to recover any anyway. So nothing from nothing, still nothing, isn't it? It doesn't matter if it's 5, 50, or 100%. You're still not going to get anything. They didn't like that either. And I guess lastly, we said we were going to allow them to have their bank have the same rights and privileges as the mining company. And they said that would be a deal killer. And this was, when I first talked about that, it was back in late December, and then we talked about it later in the lease when Cam was here. And I said, well, I'm kind of puzzled how that would be a deal killer business-wise when they loaned you $50 million back in March and April of 10, a year ago. You already have your loan from the bank. You already have your building built, etc. How would that be a deal killer? But apparently, from our perspective, they wanted us to put up the land as a guarantee to the bank. The deal should be between the bank and ORC as to the potential rewards by mining, and not us ensuring the operation with a lease on our land. What we're trying to do is be the protector of the public's interest rather than blindly signing off something and then dealing with the consequences afterwards. Because the county has learned over the years, through many trials and tribulations and heartaches, what happens when you don't make a contract as secure as you possibly can. Any comments?
No, just that we will continue, hopefully in the future, we'll return to the table and we'll continue to look out to protect the public's interest and the county's interest and the public trust. And we remain firm that we need our timber revenue and timber value replaced. That's all we've asked for, and I think that's fair. And I think hopefully in the future we can move forward on that basis. And I'm very pleased that they're doing so well and that they are moving forward. And
yeah, we encourage the mining. That's why we did the lease here just this past week with the short roadway that goes into the Weyerhaeuser property, and just finished that up, and to encourage them to start mining. I mean, we're all for mining. It's just we want to protect the county too, and we didn't think that the items we just described were onerous or would be deal killers or anything else. It's just trying to protect the county's interest. Not only, I call it county, I mean everybody in the county owns this resource. We're trying to protect and get the best dollar we can for everybody in the county.
so our forest belongs to everybody in this room and
That too?
everybody out in Coos County.
And the forest produces about 30,000 an acre, and when they put out to the public, they said the royalty to the landowners was going to be 32 to 130,000 an acre. And we said we'd take less as a base of 30,000, which was also met with great consternation. They wanted 2,000 an acre. Then apparently they convinced the chamber in the Bay Area that we wanted $150 million up front to go mining, or in other words, 30,000 acre times 5,000 acres. We said, no, that's not the case. We want a 30,000 acre base for each 10 acre parcel that they opened up, which is 300,000, not 150 million. And they would open up approximately 2 of these sites per year. They in turn came back and said they wanted 2,000 an acre. Even though they said to all these folks at the chamber, and they gave out this handout that said the royalties are going to be 32 to 130,000. And we say, great. If we get 80,000 an acre, what you discover on a county property per acre, then you only own the difference.
But we just wanted a replacement value of our timber. That's it.
Sure.
We think
They're
that's
not going to
fair.
throw away the timber and say, just go mining at 3.5% of whatever we get. We can't do that. That's not prudent. And you would, the public, if they own 5,000 acres, wouldn't do that either.
Well, and the good news is with our tremendous crew here at the county and our forestry staff, we're going to continue to do everything we can to optimize the value of our forest acres on behalf of all the citizens of Coos County. And that's our goal as we move forward.
And I think we recently sold county timber at $4.7 million, which helps out the county budget. And we had an additional sale of $630,000 or $40,000.
Almost 700,000.
Oh, 700,000 in addition.
680.
So we're at 6.4 million in county timber sales. And to give that up, we don't think is prudent without a base requirement by the mining company.
And I, on behalf of Bob and myself both, and everybody in Coos County, I want to really commend Bob Laporte and his crew. because they've done an outstanding job on behalf of the county.
Yeah, and Lance and Kathy, I mean, three of them, there's only three in the county forestry department, and they maintain those 15,000 acres.
And they do a
It's
wonderful job,
amazing.
and it's really helping us right now in a horrible budget.
And if you don't know, Bob Laporte's retiring at the end of May, this month, and Lance Morgan's gonna be the new county forester, he's sitting next to him now.
It's somebody else we're very proud of, very
Yeah.
happy to have on board.
So we wanted to clear things up a bit. I mean, there's a lot running around in the public that we hear about that's not true whatsoever. We do encourage mining, but we want to be protected, and we want the best deal possible. And apparently that wasn't good enough, so they said, we break off negotiations because of the onerous requirements, and maybe in 2 years, thinking that they'll get new commissioners, they'll get a better deal. All right, with that, let's start with agenda